Hey guys, hope you had a great week. So last week we had a bit of selling that we wanted right at the beginning of the week, but you can see here we couldn't even break below, the previous area of support that we tested. So we pretty much are still continuing the uptrend, but I am still very kind of cautious on where this leads to because as you can see here, this we have been sideways from 26th of September to the 8th of October, so that's about 2 weeks. So this right now, the market you can see here about 5820 is in a breakout. So generally, when you are breaking out, you tend to have a very explosive squeeze to the upside. So I'll put it this way, if you cannot see immediate selling Monday or Tuesday that breaks below 5830, 5820 back down, then we're very likely in an upward squeeze to the top of this channel. I've shown you guys this channel before. This is the long-term trend line, and the top of the channel would be about 5950-ish. That would kind of be a melt up to the upside into election. Given that election is coming up, it makes sense why they're trying to hold up the market, but there's a lot of cracks in it. But again, like I said, you shouldn't be the market. You should be very cautious. You shouldn't be complacent that we're super bullish, right? Just because we're kind of breaking all-time highs. I would say trade it, trade the trend with the edge of caution.
This short clip is presented by Chase. Fast track your learning curve and profit with our Leduc Trading Slack community. It is ideal for beginners who love the chase. Chase provides access to not only Samantha's daily market thoughts and chase trades, but also her fabulous team of live stage mentors who share their actual trades and risk management stops across equities, options, and futures. You also get access to custom trade support when you need it. For more information, visit www.leductrading.com/chase.
So let me show you both the bull and bear version. If we were bullish, I would say this would be the start of a 1-2. This upside here would just be a wave 3, wave 4 before we go up for a wave 5. So if we are bullish, we're still stuck in a very, very bullish sequence. And given that we are in a very bullish sequence, you see this purple line that I've drawn here? It would kind of extend into a 3, 4, 5 like this on the market, right? And the reason for that is if you look at QQQ, again, same thing. We expected them selling, but we just couldn't break below 477 pivot, and we're still moving higher. So given QQQ hasn't even broken its prior high, if this is the start of a 1-2, then we very likely, as you saw on SPX, have a bunch more upside to cover before we're done in the market. And again, if you look at this channel that we've been monitoring on QQQ, the top of this channel is at minimum till 540. So there's a lot of room to the upside. But as I mentioned, there's a lot of holes to being bullish. Is the fact that the wicks is still elevated. So for us to follow the bullish path that I've shown you, I would like wicks. I would like wicks to break below 20, let's say 19, plus one on either side to make sure it's valid. Like let it break 20, 19-ish. And then we could be very bullish to the market and trade the upside. But the Wix is still holding. It is still elevated. It is still holding above 20, which is concerning because, again, even the Wix, you can see here, I know there's a lot of lines. Bear with me. The Wix, as you can see here, is also kind of on a breakout. Can you see this channel? We're also kind of on a breakout. So we needed to break down to prove that this is a false breakout. If this is indeed a false breakout, then we could very easily continue along this upward trending path. But if the wick stays elevated, that means it's kind of giving us a sign that there's volatility that may ensure in the market. We could, again, till elections, just chop sideways on the market, chop sideways on the wicks, while the market tries to keep grinding higher with a negative divergence. So all that you have to kind of take in mind. We look at the 10-year, and you can see here we are continue to have that breakout. We are holding over that 4.5%, which is bullish the 10-year. You look at the dollar again, we did continue to form the breakout, and now, as we've discussed, it has two options. Either we reject this trend line at 103 to come back to the downside, or this is your ABC and we have a continued breakout to the upside. So all these factors essentially are important in kind of figuring out whether we're gonna kind of follow this purple path for 3, 4, 5, or as you can see here, I still have this ABC mark that we spoke about last week. This, again, you can see here if I fib, I know there's a lot of lines, but try to keep up with the lines. You can see here if I fib the ABC, you can see here it's just hovering between the 1.618 and the 1.23 fib. So again, that's why I said let's try to break 5820, 5830. If we do, then we could have a lot more selling to the downside. But as long as we hold over this 5820, we should at minimum keep continuing up into 5950, 6000. So yeah, those are the levels. Kind of watch this breakout level. That would kind of be your pivot. So on QQQ, I would say 491 would be your pivot to the downside. On ES, I would say your pivot 5820. As long as you stay above, we're still bullish. As long as you stay above 493, we're still bullish. So those are the levels to watch out for. And VIX again, below 20, bullish the market. Above 22, volatility ensues. So you need to keep an eye on the wicks as well. So with that being said, not super confident on this week's watch list. But again, it is trade the patterns that I see in front of me. And you can see here, this UPST had supply of 45. So as long as we're above 45, 46, we should be able to continue into 50, 52 pretty easily. So, I mean, that's at least an 8, 9% move to the upside. So that's why I kind of have UPST calls on this week is if we continue to melt up, we are trying to break out. We failed, and now we're trying to hold above. So as long as we hold above this 46, 47, we should be able to push into the next level of resistance here at 52 for UPST. So FSLR was one of the stocks that did actually work last week. We had a short and we kind of had that breakdown, right? Because this we saw as an ABC, we saw that kind of below the channel. So now let's see, it does have a gap to fill above. So for me personally, if we can stay below 215, right, go up to reject, then we very much have a lower level to fill below. I would say 180-ish, but let's see. I would at minimum say that if we do reject 215, and if we break 215, we will gap fill to 228. But if we reject 215, we should at minimum test below 190. So that's, I think, 180s, 185-ish is a good level for a follow through on FSLR. So that's why I have FSLR. The next one I have is Amazon, and again, it can go both ways. As long as it holds over 188, again, you can see here, if I zoom out, you'll be able to see this is the pennant. And something to note is if I go to the chart of NVDA, we're kind of broken out of the pennant. And I go to the chart of Apple, we're stuck in the pennant. So as you can see here, both Amazon and Apple are kind of stuck in its pennant, but Amazon has not pushed the top of it. So I do think if there is a bit of upside, it could push into 190, 191, but we're still within the broader pennant. So if we do, you can see here, if we do break 187, 186, then we do have downside into 180. And if we break above 182, we have a lot of upside. So one of two things is going to happen. Either you can see the chart of NVDA, either NVDA is going to follow, either it's going to follow through this breakout to the upside, or this again is an A, a B, a C wave with an ABC to the downside. It's going to follow through the upside, or since Apple, Amazon are still stuck and they follow through to the downside, then NVIDIA will follow them back to the downside. So let's watch the market. Either NVIDIA is going to lift the entire market to the upside, in which case watch Apple and watch Amazon. Why? The reason is because they are within larger pennants, and if they break out, they're going to have very explosive moves to the upside. So watch them on clues on whether it's going to help NVIDIA lead the market to the upside, or whether NVIDIA is going to break down and come to the downside, following the rest of the market. So that's the reason I have Amazon, Apple, NVIDIA as a watch, is to see who's going to be the market leader and which way we're going to flip. Next week, we'll have a better idea on that, hopefully, if we're not just stopping about. Okay, last but not the least, the stock that I have is I have the China stocks. And again, the reason for that is they're still, this is a wave four, they're still finishing their wave four. We finished, this is an A, this is a B, this is a C, so they're trying to finish off this B wave to the upside. And you can see here, we do have kind of a gap fill here. So I do think this BABA, if we do stay, either it's gonna do this, try to have a bounce, reject and come down, or it's going to reject this 109, 108 area. As long as it does that, it's going to come sell back into 100 and 200 to retest this prior area, established support. You can see here it's pretty extended. So I would kind of expect some consolidation before it continues to move higher. And it doesn't appear that there's that stimulus that came out on the weekend. You can see here that didn't really announce that many measures. So yeah, that's all I have. And again, I'm not saying it's going to give all of it gains up. I just think that it could digest this move, have a little bit more selling. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to Leduc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly waitlist videos and other content.